Section 15, question 8. The vertices of triangle ABC are shown. So A is 7, 9, so I'll just put that in. B is -3, -1. And C is 5, -5. The broken line represents the perpendicular bisector of BC. So I'm just going to fill in what that would look like then. So it's a cuts perpendicular and it's a bisector, which means it cuts in the middle. Show that the equation of the perpendicular bisector is y equals 2x minus 5. So remember, for a perpendicular bisector, it cuts in the middle and it cuts at a right angle. Now, a perpendicular bisector, you can't assume that it comes from a vertex, so we wouldn't say that it passes through A. So, perpendicular bisector, it's a straight line, so for any straight line we need point and gradient. So we're going to lift the point from the midpoint. So for the midpoint it's x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. And it's the midpoint, as you can see, of BC. So -3 plus 5 over 2. And it's -1 minus 5 over 2. 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 over 2 is 4, -1 minus 5 is -6, -6 over 2 is -3. So we've now got the midpoint there, which is 4 minus 3, and that's the point on the perpendicular bisector. We made a mistake there. -3 plus 5 is 2, 2 over 2 is actually 1. I'm now going to find the gradient of the dotted line, the perpendicular bisector, by first of all finding the gradient of BC, and then m1, m2 equals -1. So for the gradient of BC, it's going to be -5, the -1, over 5 minus -3. So -5 minus -1 is -5 plus 1, that's -4. 5 minus -3 is 8. Simplify that down to -1/2. It's then m1, m2 equals -1. So flip and invert, -1/2 becomes a positive 2 over 1, and that's 2. It's then y minus b is equal to m bracket x minus a. There's b. And that will be y minus -3 equals to bracket x minus 1. That's y plus 3 equals 2x minus 2. Bring that over and I've got the answer that I was looking for. Y equals 2x minus 5. Part B says find the equation of the median from C. Well, the median from C is a straight line that comes from C, and a median cuts an opposite line in the middle. So I need point gradient. So I've got a point that lies on the line, which is 5 minus 5. To find the gradient, I'll need to find a second point. So that is the midpoint here at D. So it's the midpoint of BA. So that's x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So it's -3 plus 7 over 2, -1 plus 9 over 2. -3 plus 7 is 4, 4 over 2 is 2. -1 plus 9 is 8, 8 over 2 is 4. So my point D is 2, 4. I'm now going to find the gradient of the median. So that will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 minus 5 minus 4 over 5 minus 2. That's -9 over 3, and that's -3. I then choose any point that lies in the line, so I'll choose this one here for y minus b equals m bracket x minus a. And that'll be y minus 4 equals minus 3 bracket x minus 2. That's y minus 4 equals minus 3x plus 6. Bring that over, and that's y equals minus 3x plus 10, and that's the equation of the median. Part C, find the coordinates of the point intersection between the perpendicular bisector and the median. So I've got both the equations and it's simultaneous equations. So y equals minus 3x plus 10, I'll call that equation 1. Y equals 2x minus 5, I'll call that equation 2. So I'm going to do equation 2 take away equation 1, so y take away y goes, that's 0. 2x take away minus 3x, it's 2x plus 3x, that's 5x. Minus 5 minus 10 is minus 15. So that gives me 5x equals 15. And x equals 3. I'm going to sub x equals 3 into one of the equations. So I'm going to put it into 2x minus 5. And that'll be 2 bracket 3 minus 5, which is 6 minus 5, and that's 1. So the point intersection then is 3, 1. That's the final answer to the question.